Alright, I think I'm live. We are in the brand new DCS Mi-24 Hind Russian attack helicopter. This one is the Ukrainian skin with the alligator eyes or whatever you want to call them up there. I have not flown it yet, so I'm going to be doing attempting a startup and flight. The Mi-8 and the Mi-24 are very similar helicopters. The Mi-8 being mainly just a transport helicopter, but can also be armed, like this one here has the hard points on the side. I'm very familiar with the Mi-8 in DCS. Have a lot of hours in that, so Mi-24 should be a lot of fun. This is the P model, which has the fixed 30mm cannon. With 6 hard points. Can have guided anti-tank missiles, rockets, gun pods. I have the grenade launcher pods and a couple rocket pods on there right now. Okay. So I guess I'll try and figure out how to start this. I know it's very similar to the Mi-8. And I did watch one startup video. This is interesting, none of my clicks are working. Oh, I had the game paused.
Отказала основная гидросистема. Лог Ри-65 исправен. Отказал насос расходного бака.
Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out where the audio warning is because it was driving me nuts. There we go. Let's see here. Don't have external tanks. Throttle to idle. Trying to think if I'm forgetting anything here. I got the rotor brake off. Anti-ice. Okay, and our starting panel was here. So it's all the way down to start. That'll start our APU. In theory. Alright, I obviously missed something. could I possibly be missing? Seems like it's a fuel issue. All the fuel tanks are on. The fuel pumps. Set to start. Definition of insanity. Oh, Matt Wagner. Oh, did I miss two? Oh, I missed those ones. DCS producer Matt Wagner himself is here. Howdy, Matt. Alright. Yeah, I forgot about those four right there. Alright. There we go, we're getting some heat in there. Thanks a lot, Matt, that was awesome. We're getting some bleed air pressure there from the APU. I want to close the door, it's a little loud. So start the left engine first. Rotor brake is off. That will prevent a start in the Mi-8 at least. Getting some EGT. We're also here on Cyprus, which is brand new to the Syria map, which looks like an awesome addition. And I don't know how loud my mic is. I suspect it's quieter than the game. I'm going to turn the game down a little in OBS here and see. Alright, looks like we're good. Go to the right engine, start that one. Fuel lever. Cool. It's just very loud in my headphones. I guess I could just turn it down there, huh? Alright, looks like we have a good start on number 2. Wait for that RPM to stabilize and then we'll turn the APU off, crank the throttles up, and have some fun. I know some of these we can turn off after we're started. I think it was these rectifier switches here, or inverters maybe. Yeah, inverters. Okay, we're stabilized there. APU off. Alright, the throttle should crank up right here on my collective. Forgot the most important thing, the fan. There we go. interesting. Our number 2 engine, don't know if that's normal. It's not running at the same speed as the number 1 engine. Oop, don't want to do that. Yeah, these are like separate throttles here, but they don't seem to do anything at the moment. It's a little different than how the Mi-8 is. No, we did want those on. I missed the wrong one, whichever one we could shut off. I think it was that one. Nope. I can't close that cover because it shuts the switch off. Oh. That's what I did. I closed the cover on those, which is the problem. Yeah, we don't need battery power anymore since we're running on generators, I guess. This is the pretty cool analog moving map kind of thing. I'm not sure which position is on. I'll take it as up is on. Doors unsealed. Alright, what am I missing for the door? Ah. Nope. Wrong way. Maybe that has something to do with the rear doors, the cargo bay doors or the troop carrying doors. Switch to the front seat real quick. Okay, this cockpit's closed up. I don't know if we have to do anything up here related to before we take off. RWR is here. I'm not sure where that's turned on. I do know we have an autopilot down here. Doesn't seem like that's turning on. Missing something again. Strobe light on. So I'll turn all our radio stuff on. Radar altimeter, Doppler. Doppler's important for navigation and general flying. Ah, there's our RWR right there. Which I don't, there's no threats in this mission, so nothing should light it up. See, was it backspace? Yeah, backspace gets rid of that. I swear I'm missing something. Sure, this is riveting to watch. I think I need to plug my headphones in. I think they're dying. Alright. I'm not sure why the autopilot is. Maybe those lights aren't implemented? I thought they were. So it's possible they could be on, but it seems like the button would stick or something, I don't know. Alright, well, I guess we'll try this out. So I have only the basic functions mapped here, so that was the parking brake there. Might just try a vertical takeoff here. Yeah, something's wrong with that second engine. Don't have enough power for a takeoff, which might explain why my autopilot isn't coming on. Let me hit the parking brake there again. Okay. Maybe I ran the throttle up before the second engine was fully started and that prevented it from going to full RPM. Let's try these autopilots again. Still doesn't seem like those work, but alright, whatever. Pulling a lot of collective here. Okay, the other possibility here is I need to adjust my controls because I'm not getting enough throttle out of my, I mean, it shows it's pretty much there. Let's see here. That ought to do it like that. Yeah, I'm not quite at 100% on the rotor RPM either. I'll also check my collective. It's been a while since I've used all these controls, so make sure I'm getting full travel out of the collective. Yep. Okay. So I don't need those as long as those are switched to main like I thought. Okay. Didn't realize they weren't on main. Oh boy. Yeah, like these aren't uncaged. This should be all armament stuff. Oops. So just lights. Oh, now all these are working. Okay. I don't want altitude hold. Turn that off. I think that was because I missed these AC transformers there. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see if we have enough power to get in the air this time. I also realize I am very heavy. I'm at 100% takeoff weight. So I'm just off the ground now. Get some speed here. Yeah. So apparently you really don't want to fly that close to max takeoff weight. Get our gear up. Oh, there's a lock on it, like a lot of Soviet aircraft. That is our radar altimeter. Ah, there we go. Set the height way down on that so it's not beeping at me all the time. Alright, we are airborne in the new Syrian add-on. At some point I might try out some of the weapons here. Basically just gonna kind of fly down the coast here. There's another airport down a ways, about 20 miles maybe. I think I have the mirrors turned off in the settings, which is why they don't show anything. Unsure how the stream is going. It says no dropped frames. Looks choppy on my second monitor just because the Windows isn't focused on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what the deal is with the gyro fail lights there. This is early access, so it's possible something's not implemented, but more likely I just missed something. Gotta say, it flies nice and straight. We're a little above normal cruising speed. Supposedly a max speed is about 350 kilometers an hour. We're doing about 260. Normal cruise, I think, is 250 for this aircraft. But the Mi-8 can be pushed to almost 300, even though its normal cruise is like 170 or something like that. Getting pretty low on our rotor RPM there. It's handy, it's got some yellow lines painted on the glass for you. So I can't pull too much more on the collective. Fuel ought to be that gauge there. Looks like we're roughly half, about 1,250 liters. Oh cool, we do have an accelerometer. That's an important gauge in the Mi-8, because the Mi-8 has a pretty frail tail boom, and if you pull more than about 3 Gs, it snaps off. I would imagine this helicopter is stronger. It has a bigger tail boom. Now we got a little solar farm there. Yeah, we are definitely drifting on our navigation there. It's way off. So, again, that could be my fault. It might not, the Doppler might not navigate properly when you're over the water. I know that's a limitation with some of these Doppler systems. Now I'm gonna do something stupid here. I think we got to be up in the front. Yeah, that's the armament master arm there. Oh, I'm shooting something. I think that's our, yeah, that's our grenade pods. Yeah, this thing flies really nice. It's really stable. There we go. That's our 30mm cannon there on the nose. And there's different burst. Yeah, there we go. Now we're on auto range on the gun sight. You can change the burst between a large, medium, and small, I believe. Or long, medium, short, whatever. And you can also change the fire rate. Oh, there we go. It's a pretty big difference. I did set up a few trucks at this next airport on the runway here we can try and shoot at. I believe it's over there. It's kind of interesting, our auto ranging queue. Huh, okay. When it's offset, it might be basically telling us that we're not flying perfectly straight. We've used about 100 liters since I last checked. I'm betting this is going to be a pretty thirsty helicopter. Yeah, I can see the runway lights. I have not mapped any of the AI controls for controlling the front seat guy or anything like that. Trying to remember what it was called. Pelatrov or Petrovich, I think. Petrovich. That sounds right. The name of the AI system. Yeah, I got some trucks on the runway there. So this is a pretty primitive ranging system used. It just takes your radar altimeter, so our direct elevation above the ground, combined with the angle of the aircraft to compute a firing solution. But if the elevation of the target is different than the elevation of the ground directly beneath us, it will not be perfectly accurate. Here we go. Let's give it a shot. Got him. It's a little short. I got that last guy. Pulling about a G and a half in that turn. Lost a lot of airspeed. That was pretty cool. Let's go back and try the grenade launcher pods. It doesn't look like we have an auto-ranging queue with those. This could be a total guess on the trajectory here. Oh yeah, way short. Yeah, those are gonna take some definite practice to use well. They're a very slow round, so it takes a long time for you to see your impact so you can correct. Alright, we got rockets. Apparently we do have a ranging queue with these particular rockets I have loaded. Not sure what sets the burst length with the rockets. It might be the same switch that sets the machine gun burst rate, or burst size I should say. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Rockets. Obviously missing something with the rockets. See. Not sure. I don't think there's anything in the front seat we had to do for rockets. Oh, the front seat feels a lot different. Front seat is mainly concerned with the guided anti-tank missiles, which is what this whole sight thing right here is all about. I'll turn those on anyways and see what happens when we go back to the front or rear seat. A whole lot of nothing. Oh well, I wasn't super concerned about employing weapons on this flight, so. Not sure the best way to... I notice it doesn't say rocket up here. So I'm guessing it should. Oh well. Yeah, I'm not sure how we jettison all of our stores. So I'd like to just get rid of the weight for now, but we can land here and fix that, I suppose. I realize on the webcam it's very bright over in this area for some reason. I guess I did have some pitch or some trim inputs there. Like the Mi-8, that's going to take some getting used to. It's very slow for the engines to bring power in. I thought I was being pretty conservative with it there, but it still dropped rotor RPM and kicked the generators off. That's more or less a hover right there. Just bring it straight down. Try not to exceed 3 meters per second. Descent. Lest we end up a smoking crater. So our radar altimeter warning us we're getting low. A little interesting right off the ground. Okay. Just rearm here. Just empty that out. %, fuel.
Заправка по плану. Перезарядка по плану.
You know, I thought I had a... Huh. I set this airport as friendly, but apparently they're not going to rearm me, so... Keep flying. Oh. parking brakes on. Let's see if I can do a nose wheel takeoff. Those are fun in the Mi-8. I hit the... It droops the rotor RPM a little too much again. Alright. I'm gonna fly to the interior of the map here. Get my gear up. It's also possible it could be a early access issue with the not being able to jettison. But like I said, this is literally the very first time I've been in the aircraft and done anything with it, so. Eventually I'll get it all, everything mapped into all my panels and know it pretty well, but it takes a little while. Howdy Evan, thanks for watching. Got a cool little port over here. Looks like my frame rates are doing okay. Above 60 most of the time. This is the first time I've played DCS since I got my 3070. I suspect it'd be doing better if I wasn't streaming right now. Visibility isn't really that bad out of the right side here with this canopy frame. It's definitely better out the left, but you can look around it pretty well. Just don't get your head up into the fan there. I'd like to push this thing a little faster, but I don't think it's going to do it with this armament on it. I'm already running minimum rotor speed. Get some altitude over the terrain here and have a look. not sure why our number 2 engine seems to be not quite synced up with the number 1 engine. And you can see that on this indication here, which is kind of like a torque gauge on a Western helicopter. So number 2 engine's not running quite as hot as the both in terms of torque and actual temperature over here. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, we did jettison our stores, okay. I don't know when that happened. Maybe they did actually try to rearm me there. But I didn't receive any word on the radio from the ground crew, so it's interesting. Oh, and I managed to kick the autopilot off again. I'll have to map that to some other buttons at some point. Yeah, this has been a long-awaited module for DCS. They announced they were doing this back in 2016, 17 maybe? At least that they intended on doing it. So looks pretty nice so far. It's been I think the end of 2016 is when DCS got the Gazelle, which is the last helicopter that's been released in DCS. So nearly, let's see, yeah, over about 4.5 years I think since the last helicopter. So this is a nice addition. I definitely have, I think, the most fun in the helicopters. Let's check out the front seat for a little bit. Sure is, like, you have to, like, click this lever when the collective is down or something to enable these controls to pop out where they can be used, at least visually. It looks like I'm not actually flying up here. Okay. So it looks like AI takes over when you switch to the front seat automatically. Okay. Not sure why the yaw kicked off there. Adjust free turbine RPM. That'll give us some fine adjustments to the engine and the rotor RPM. I don't have that mapped, so that's gonna be kind of hard to click that with the mouse. Assuming it works. So this is Cyprus, apparently. They also added some of southern Turkey, which is north of us here. I believe this is the Mediterranean. So yeah, they added more of Turkey, which is cool. I haven't checked that out yet. Still not sure why the flags are out on the ADIs. Oh, that's cool. So there's some lights in there for the map. These will be different colored signal flares here. Not sure which side they pop out on, or if they work. It's possible they don't work yet. Helps if you turn it on, I bet. There we go. Green, yellow, and white, I guess. That's pretty cool. So those are separate from your countermeasure flares, which I have not messed with that yet. I believe that's a front seat. Yeah, I believe it's something back here. It looks different than the Mi-8 is, though, what I'm used to seeing. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks. So yeah, it could be something we're doing wrong, or I'll have to rewatch the video that Wags posted and see if I missed something. Or it's possible it's just a bug when you're doing a cold start. But again, thanks to Wags for actually popping in this stream and letting me know that I missed the fuel pumps on my startup there. That was cool. I imagine this could be a lot of fun with the multi-crew. Nice to have a second set of eyes. Oh, so I think you might be missing the same thing that I missed on my startup. These two switches here, if you click them once, they go in like a down position. You have to right click them so they end up in the up position there. With those lights on. With those the AC transformers in the standby or whatever mode they were on, it didn't work. But yeah, I still have that issue, the red lights there. But that other switch issue did prevent me from using the autopilot down there. See, we burned all the way down to about 500 liters, it looks like, and we no longer have any weapons, so it should be pretty easy to land this thing. It was feeling pretty heavy. I know the rotor disc is a few meters smaller than the Mi-8, but it does have a higher rotor RPM. rotors themselves, the blades have a similar area. Yeah, and our map is still drifting way off. Yeah, I always prefer a cold start too. At least compared to an auto start, but sometimes a hot start's nice if you're in a hurry. But I've never liked the auto start though. Looks like a nice place to land right there. Wow, the engines are really slow to react on this thing. I swear they're even slower than the Mi-8. Almost forgot something here. This would be something I'll have to get used to. Don't normally fly helicopters with landing gear. Cool. Definitely can't land it as fast as I can with the Mi-8 yet. It's definitely feeling lighter too, now that I burned a bunch of fuel and got rid of the weapons. Oh cool, a village over here. I wonder if the windshield wiper works. Should try it out in the rain. Imagine that'll be it's that 5-way or 4-way switch right there. Hey, it works. That's pretty cool. Hope it actually interacts with the rain on the canopy and stuff. It's a perfect little helipad. exactly sure where I am. I've kind of lost track of where I've been going. Yeah, I'm kind of turned around here. Don't know if I've noticed that before. Hay bales in the field there, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm curious to know more about the moving map. I don't think Wags has touched on that in his videos yet. Yeah, I'm not sure if the door's unsealed light is normal. I do know these have seals on all the doors, and the cabin can be pressurized for higher altitude flight. Well, that's good to know. C brings out the controllers in the gunner seat. On the ground, when I was setting up, just doing my control checks before I did the video where I actually tried to fly it, when you click this lever, it would... Was it that red lever? I thought it was the red lever on the collective there, and it would enable these controls as well. That's all I know about it. Yeah, it had very interesting rudder pedals that pop out of the footwells down there, which is kind of cool. I'll have to enable the mirrors. I can't remember what button does that in-game. It'd be nice if these mirrors could be hidden so I just wouldn't have to look at them at all. But if I'm gonna have to look at them, I'd rather that they actually work. Is it M? Oh, there we go. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while. Thank you. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's pretty cool. You can actually see the engine intake up there with the eye painted on it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like trees or buildings show up in the mirrors, which I think has always been the case in DCS. So the world in the mirrors is kind of lifeless. Once again, our yaw autopilot is off. I'm not sure why. Well, I can see the sea again. Yeah, normally I have them off, but since the mirrors are actually still like folded out, like a lot of the aircraft, the mirrors just fold up so you don't have to look at them at all. But, oh well. Doesn't seem like I'm getting a performance hit anymore with this new card, so... see if we can do some more interesting flying. I've got a RTX 3070. Took 5 months of waiting in the EVGA queue to get it. But they delivered, so. And they honored the old pricing as well. They're not honoring the old pricing anymore though, as of about a month ago. Yeah, you can see our that's interesting. Some sort of military checkpoint. Our we lose our HUD cues when I bank over certain angles because we lose the radar altimeter, and without the radar altimeter it doesn't have a good or it doesn't have any firing solution, so it just goes away, I guess. Also, we are quite low on fuel, which I kind of expected, so seems like this thing's going to use a lot more fuel than the other helicopters in DCS that we're used to. That's interesting. Obviously some sort of ancient ruins that I'm not familiar with. Yeah, it's saying 120 liters remain, so I think I've been reading that wrong. So it must be that inner dial, or the inner gauge there, that is our actual fuel quantity. And outer might be when we have external fuel tanks. Those are just test buttons there. Like with the Mi-8, you can select between the different tanks with a rotary switch there. Doesn't appear to be the case in this helicopter. Maybe when I flame out, I'll practice an auto rotation call tonight. Okay. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. I'm not sure why it's not smooth exactly. If I... It's some Windows thing. At least in the OBS software, it's very smooth if I click out of the game onto OBS. It's smoothed right out. But when I'm focused on the game, it is not smooth in OBS. I don't have a good view of my YouTube stream itself because I have very limited screen space to look at it right now. So I wasn't sure if what I was seeing on the OBS screen was what was actually going out. It says I'm not dropping any frames though, so at least I have that going for me. Yeah, next up we'll have to really commit the weapons stuff to memory, and then I can actually do some cool stuff. Lost my autopilots again. Not sure why. Didn't think I drooped the rotor RPM, but maybe I did. Not expecting an auto rotation to go very well in this thing, since I haven't done it before. But give it a shot anyways. Yeah, I had it seems to be automatically trimming or something, because I hit the trim reset like right there, and you can tell it was all trimmed up, and I haven't actually touched the force trim at all. But it keeps doing that, and I assume that has something to do with the autopilot. But I have rudder trimming off in the options, which I have that off on all the helicopters because I normally don't like it. Very flat on this side of the island. Getting down there, about 70 liters of fuel maybe. Have to remember to put my gear out when I flame out. I might just do that now. Not sure if there's a... I don't think the helicopter goes fast enough to actually damage the gear or the gear doors, but I could be wrong. Seemed to deploy just fine. Eventually I'll have that mapped over here to my gear handle. I'll have to figure out something for the lock here, because the lock automatically engages every time you put the gear down, which is kind of annoying. But I might be able to set that to one of my switches, and it'll just hold it up all the time. Cool mountains over here. Oh, that's neat. Looks like a fire extinguisher tucked back there. I do know the next airport is quite a ways down this coast. So we'll never make it on the fuel we got. We might be over this little peninsula right here. So that puts that next airport down there. Oh, cool. With the command, it automatically overrides the gear lock. So hopefully, once I map this to my lever, it'll just ignore the gear lock as well. Yeah, that's a Russian aircraft thing. I guess the Ka-50 doesn't have it, but MiG-21 definitely has it. Be getting into kind of a bad spot for an auto rotation right there. Oh, still got some fuel. These are our like gearbox oil pressures and temperatures over here. We do have some external load controls, it looks like, so we can sling load. Oh, that's cool. Don't know if... Doesn't seem like the lights work. Again, could be an early access thing, I don't know. Could also be more switches for the lighting that I'm unaware of. Some cool mountains. Cool, we got an emergency landing gear lever there. Get pretty close to flame out. These might be something to do with the radio. Not sure. Oh, interesting. So somewhere, so we do have two tanks. So now the second tank is below 120 liters. So maybe that outer gauge is correct. And when I saw that, we would have had 240 liters, which put the needle up there, and that might have been correct. Not exactly sure. Find out if we flame out here pretty quick. But I believe that gauge must be our total fuel, so. Haven't found anything to switch between different tanks on the gauge. Port over there. Not the best place to be with all these buildings and trees. Hey, thanks for watching. So we're officially out of fuel on the gauge. Pretty interesting, it has a trim hat though, like a plane, so you can trim it that way as well, which is pretty cool. Engine should be dying any minute now. I wonder if one will die before the other, so we'll have a little bit of power. transmission lines that run to the mountain. It's pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Collective's all the way down and I'm not getting any rotor RPM. So, don't know what that's about, but so I'll have to practice that again, or maybe it's a bug, but that'll do it for this stream. So